One of the quiet fears people carry after divorce is this: what if I never trust again? And right behind it is an equally powerful fear: what if I trust too fast? Now, both are understandable, especially when you've already learned the hard way what it feels like to lose yourself in a relationship that didn't end the way you hoped it would. So let's start here. Wanting love again doesn't mean you're naive, broken, or repeating old patterns. It means you're human. The work after divorce isn't to shut that desire down. It's to learn how to stay connected to yourself while you let someone else get close. And that's a skill, not an instinct. This is where people often slip into trauma bonding without realizing it. When you've been through emotional upheaval, intensity can feel like connection. Oversharing early feels like intimacy. Constant contact feels like security. And then suddenly things are moving very fast, not because the relationship is solid, but because it feels familiar. Trauma bonding isn't about weakness. It's about your nervous system reaching for relief. But relief and safety are not the same thing. So instead of asking, do I feel excited? A better question becomes, do I feel steady? Excitement rises and crashes. Steadiness builds slowly, and the relationships that last tend to be the ones that don't require you to abandon your routines, your boundaries, or your sense of self in order to keep them alive. Now let's talk about trust, because rebuilding it doesn't mean you're ignoring your instincts or testing your pain tolerance. Trust after divorce is built through observation, not declarations. You don't need someone to promise you the future. You need to watch how they handle conflict, respect your time, respond to boundaries, and show up consistently. Trust grows when words and actions align over time, not when emotions run high early on. Now, this is also where speed-running intimacy becomes a problem. Moving too fast can feel efficient, but it often skips over information you actually need. When you compress time, you compress clarity. Taking things slower isn't about fear, it's about discernment. And discernment is what allows you to choose differently, not just sooner. From a legal and a parenting standpoint, this matters too. When you maintain your identity, your routines, and your emotional stability, you protect more than just your heart. You're protecting your children's sense of security, your credibility in court, and your long-term well-being. Healthy love doesn't require chaos, and it certainly doesn't require you to disappear. So here's the perspective I want to leave you with. Love after divorce doesn't need to be dramatic to be meaningful. It doesn't need to hurt in order to feel real. And it doesn't need to rush to prove itself. The strongest relationships are built by people who know who they are and refuse to lose themselves just to feel chosen. I'm Ellen Wright, and if you're stepping into love again after divorce, remember this: you don't need to protect yourself by closing off. You need to protect yourself by staying grounded. And when you do that, love becomes something you choose, not something that takes over.